Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. I don't have any ads to read. I don't even know what to say. My only question is, which needs stitches more, the ice or Mikko Rantanen's face?
Ooh. Mikko Rantanen's face.
Pretty messed up.
It was that bad, man.
Pretty gnarly. Definitely going to need some stitches.
Sammy G!
Yeah.
Sorry, it just happened. So.
They're replaying the first period behind us right now, so we're witnessing it again.
Over and over again.
Yeah,
For the next 6 hours.
Hopefully it's just this on a loop until the game resumes. No commentary, no break-in, no banner that says game will resume at whatever time. They just keep replaying the first.
I'm going to have enough time to go back and break down every play in the first period by the time the game starts again.
Detailed first period grades on the way.
So, was this a good idea with bad luck, or was this a bad idea from the beginning?
No, I think this is just bad luck, man. It's funny because the oral histories that have been done of the first Winter Classic, they've talked about look, if it was 2 degrees warmer that day,
they're screwed.
We may never do another outdoor game. History could have gone so differently. And they've done 30 of these things, and they've had some issues.
Yep.
They've had some delays before, and I think that's just how it goes.
Thank you for the super chat. Let's move to Siberia for the next one.
I definitely do not want to overreact and have to put myself in Siberia. And I don't want anyone else to have to go to Siberia for 2 periods of a hockey game.
At least they weren't on the lake.
It looked like they were, to be honest.
The light bulb goes off in your head when you're like, that lake isn't frozen. Maybe this isn't a great idea.
Not just the lake, but the small little ponds next to the rink aren't frozen.
The dudes in the canoe, they're fishing for baseballs, Barry Bonds hits to them.
Yeah.
No, this is a little iffy.
Yeah.
Also, P.S., if he's still out there, could someone go whack that guy in the Red Wings jersey?
Well,
just go $100. I will Venmo you $100 to go out there in your little canoe and smack that guy with
There's
an
at
oar.
least 2 Wings fans out there. There's the guy on the jet ski.
The one with the flag is the one that I want.
Okay.
They're everywhere.
That's the bounty.
Bring him down.
That's right. I want on video. I want that guy getting smoked.
Oh. It's beautiful, though. Look at that. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
it's great
beautiful
view.
scenes. Everything but the rink is great.
It's funny when they do the really far away aerial shots. You're like, wow, that rink is really small.
Yeah. They have the blimp up top, and it's like, why did they bring a blimp to this event?
Well, what do you need a blimp for when you've got 2 drones that go 70 miles an hour?
Blimps are cool.
I mean, they are. We like to make fun of the fact that they were really hyped about those 2 drones. They got a separate press release.
It was a choice. It was a choice for sure.
There were a lot of choices, man.
So, I don't know what people thought at home or in the bar, but up top here, we all saw them start to repair the ice after the anthem, and went, oh no.
Immediately, because outdoor games, the number one thing that translates from every outdoor game is the ice is not going to be good. You're going to have bouncy pucks. It's just going to be a wild time. But when the anthems got done and all they had done was go out there and stand on the blue line, and 6 dudes come rolling out, and they're fixing the ice.
5 minutes fixing the ice.
Yeah, and the game gets delayed for a couple minutes, and you're like, oh boy, this is bad.
This might be the first time where it's visibly bad, where you're watching it on TV and you can see the areas where you're like, that's not good at all.
It was and then I loved how NBC's the production team was trying to work around it because all of a sudden we started getting the tight shots of everything, the super up close player reactions while in between whistles, because the dudes were out there fixing the ice and they were like, we don't want to keep putting cameras on the guys fixing the ice. This is not the story we're trying to tell.
They should have thrown down some more ads.
Well, they
just some fake ads all over the ice where the issues were.
Oh my God. That lasted 5-10 minutes, and then they said screw it and cut to the crew putting out a fire next to the rink.
What are these?
Oh, did we get a super chat? A $10 one?
Oh, okay.
Did he roofie that middle one? What just happened?
I'm a little concerned about that.
What was the swap at the end there?
That one is for Blais.
Chat.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Chat,
got
is
it.
Eric baiting us, or did one of you actually give $10?
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
I saw
pop up.
$5.
No, it's just cuz. Just cuz.
Just because
Take
the
a shot.
game got
Yeah.
delayed.
Just cuz.
Just because
I
we
can't
watched
really
one
talk.
period
Don't make fun of me.
truly atrocious hockey.
I have to drink for the next 6.5 hours until this game comes back.
People were immediately tweeting at me and were like, "You guys need to make sure you mix in water." Like, guys, we're going home.
Yeah, we're not staying at the
Spoiler
bar
alert,
for this.
I'm not sitting here all day waiting for this to happen. Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, let's go.
yeah, we'll do it.
Love you, miss
All right,
you,
this is a pretty
Steph.
baby
I miss
shot.
all
Thank
of
you,
you,
Eric.
honestly.
Is this the Uller? Oh yeah, definitely.
the
Wow,
first
yeah,
show
Yeah,
of
it's
talking.
Oh, it
Listerine.
is.
It's
Uller.
It's just straight up
Uller.
Listerine.
There it is. Let's drink while that's on
right.
TV.
Oh god.
Cheers, boys.
Love you
No,
too,
Scott,
Steph.
Here's
he's
to
just
that
helping
bounty.
me out.
Oh, I feel funny.
You feel funny.
I imagine this is what the ice tastes like in Lake Tahoe.
I don't know, man. It would be weird if the ice tasted like mouthwash.
I guess alcohol makes it harder to freeze, right? So probably
Yeah.
not at all. Yeah.
I mean, it would be a good flavor on the snow cones that they could make off the ice here.
So, all jokes aside, since this has basically been like a 10-minute comedy hour. 10-minute comedy, 10 minutes.
You know what? I haven't been on a show in a while. That the happy birthdays made me smile. Thank you very much.
I just wonder, like, we have some hockey stuff to talk about.
Actual first period did happen.
So,
yeah.
I think the most pressing thing is the 5-on-3.
Yep.
Because that's a huge turning point in any game. And normally, after a 5-on-3, people would be ready to burn it down. But after watching the puck, like, crawl across the ice, like, they won the face-off, and then they were just like, the puck is, like, moving through open snow. And you're like, dude, there was better ice in the actual Mystery Alaska movie than there was than what these guys are
All
playing
right, there
on.
you go. We got the super
Thank
chat.
you.
Oh, there
Thank
we
you,
go.
Ouroboros.
Perfect.
Appreciated.
So the 5-on-3, how upset were you that it did not convert?
None. It's a miracle the fact they got the 2 quality chances they did with that ice.
Well,
I mean,
okay.
It was pretty lackadaisical, but again, I think that has a lot to do with the puck not moving. all
the
over
lack
ice.
of urgency felt directly tied to we have to make the safest play imaginable with the puck.
Yeah.
There's none of this tic-tac-toe with the way that this ice is.
I think it was Ranton, and you saw take one step and said, if I take another step, I'm going to toe pick. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Okay, so we're not going to get too...
Nah, not worried about
We're
that.
not firing
5-on-3.
Ray Bennett yet after that one?
Fire the ice crew, maybe, and not Ray Bennett.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it's an important part of the game because if they score there, obviously they go up 2-1 right at the end of the first.
2-0.
2-0.
Sorry, 2-0
Yeah.
right at the end of the first.
This
That
game's-
Uller kicked in fast. and with the ice conditions,
Game
like,
is over at 2-0.
right, you're thinking, great, we don't have to score again.
Yeah.
We don't have to take any chances breaking the puck out. The Avs could be completely in the mindset of we're going to shut this down.
Yep.
They did not get that done, and at 1-0, they've got 2 periods to play 6 hours from now. 10 o'clock?
6.5 hours.
6.5 hours
hours,
from
yeah.
now,
Yep.
where now the approach is different.
Yep.
I think the approach has to basically be the exact same. You come out, you try and score first.
You treat
And
it like a
then-
0-0 game.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the result. I think that not getting that goal on the 5-on-3 means that they have to come out with a hungry attitude again.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like the Avs were dominating that period, too. Shots on net, possession of the puck. I mean, that's what it felt like to me.
I certainly think quality was in their favor. There was really only one good open look for Vegas.
Yeah.
And Grubauer made a sassy glove save. So, he was feeling pretty good. Whereas on the other side, Fleury was fighting it. And Fleury, I mean, all credit also goes to Fleury for the 5-on-3 because he made 2 great saves.
Yeah.
That big shoulder save that he made,
Yeah.
that could be the difference in the game.
I mean, shots ended up 17-7, right? But before the Avs went on
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But it was 10-7 before the 4-minute power play.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, and okay, so as frustrating as the lack of power play goals,
7 shots on goals.
but
Yeah.
you can't watch that power play and say that they're not creative. Nathan McKinnon with Marc-Andre Fleury having to move, wide open on a one-timer, and
just a great read by Fleury.
And it was a great read. But if McKinnon gets any elevation on that, there's
the
70%
whole upper half of the net is wide open.
That you could carve out the whole section like this that he could shoot into. He just fired it right, and Fleury, a great read, put himself in the position that he could. And McKinnon just failed to execute right there, which he does on the one-timer. The one-timer is the weakness in his game.
For sure.
He can do it. It's just not something we see very often.
That second slap shot that he took, it looked like he meant to go on the ice because Landeskog was standing out front with no one basically on him. So he was hoping that puck would pop out and Landeskog could just pop it in the back door.
And he had the cross ice pass where it looked like he was going to shoot, and he throws it.
Great pass.
And he had the man in front. It just didn't connect. And again, like, these are great looks, great scoring chances. Fleury comes up big. They fail in execution here, fail in execution there. Again, and I always feel like I'm in defense of Ray Bennett because everybody just wants to blame the coach for everything power play related and not the players. But it's like, what more do you want them to create in that situation? They did everything but score there. Given how bad the power play genuinely looked the last game that they played, that power play was a hell of a lot better.
You pointed out 10 seconds into the power play, who gets his zone entry? Gabe Landeskog.
Yeah. He comes back, and because we had talked about his absence hurting their ability to get the entry, he makes a nice play getting into the zone. They get set up, they create chances, and you're like, okay, this is the A team. This is why they're the A team.
Yep.
So this was, for me, I thought it was an encouraging period. And look, the ice being what it was, not going to take a whole lot away from it, but I liked the lineup. I liked the lineup changes. As much as I've been like, just leave the three-headed monster together, using Gabe Landeskog to kind of buoy offense from your bottom six, I think is a smart approach.
Well, and I mean, let's be real. You're not going to give Landeskog 23 minutes when he's coming off of 12 days off.
It's true.
So you put him on the third line, you play him 14, 15 minutes. He doesn't completely gas himself, and he helps out your bottom six.
Yeah, and so Burakovsky with the top line, Donskoy up onto the second line in Burakovsky's usual spot.
Yep.
And then Landeskog on the left with Jost at center and Comfer on the wing. So we have talked about they've got to try something other than JT Comfer at center. They're trying it. And to put Landeskog there and not the offensive black hole that Val Nichushkin is. Like, if you're not on the PK, you cannot put Tyson Jost and Val Nichushkin on the ice at the same time. You just can't do it. So having Landeskog there, I think, really helps them because he's a guy who can actually drive play. As much as Donskoy's off to a good offensive start, he's a complimentary player.
Never been a play driver.
He needs to be the third banana on a line where he can just complement the guys that are out there. He's either going to have to shoot, he's going to play make, whatever. He's going to do the things that he does, but it's never in his career been to drive play. So I think I really like the lineup construction as is, and then the fourth line being the fourth. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Go out and have fun.
Sure. Was anyone having fun in that ice? I mean, it was
it
like
didn't
playing
look
in a
like
snow
it, man.
cone.
It really didn't look like it.
I mean, after 5 minutes, the whole thing was just bad.
I don't know. The clips are out there. Go find them.
I mean, the refs were even slipping.
Yeah, the refs were falling over.
Yeah.
Someone like sticks their stick into the ice, and it's like a good half-inch deep of just. It's unplayable. It was legitimately unplayable, so I don't blame him for postponing.
Yeah, and I thought it was telling that as soon as the period ended, like, Stone and Landeskog made a beeline for the officiating crew, and we're like,
we're not doing this. Yeah.
We're not coming out for this next period. You guys got to get those hot potatoes in the room right now. A lot of them. Because we got to stay warm somehow. We are not coming out.
So, not great. Sam Girard. 2 outdoor games, 2 goals.
Welcome back, G.
Yeah. What a difference a couple of players makes for the Avalanche.
Well, and I think this is, I did a spot on Mile High Sports before the game with old friend JJ Jerez and Ryan Bolding, and this is what we talked about. We talked, hey, when these guys come back, now we're getting to see both of these teams more or less at full strength. I think Braden McNabb's still missing for Vegas, but given that Zach Whitecloud is better anyway, Nick Hague might be better anyway.
The Avs are missing EJ, so call it fair.
But right, like they could be better off anyway. So I think that that we're mostly seeing the starting lineups. If they were to start a playoff series, these are probably
relatively close.
16 of the 18 skaters you could reasonably expect with a couple of minor adjustments here and there, depending on health and stuff. But the way that they played, and obviously the shots on goal and all that stuff is skewed, but the way that they were going, despite Colorado's speed being neutralized by that garbage ice, like we've talked, I continue to feel like the Avalanche like this matchup. I know that I know a lot in fan land that are like, oh, Ryan Reeves, and they play a heavy game, and like Ryan Reeves is really, really effective when guys have their back turned. But when he has a puck on his stick and he has to do something that involves something other than being big, he's just not very good at it. And I think that's something that you don't see a lot of in Colorado's lineup. There are very few guys in that lineup that you think this guy is just not able to make a play. And I don't think that's true of the Vegas lineup. I think that they have bigger offensive struggles than a lot of people believe. Yeah. If it's not coming, Mark Stone is an amazing two-way player, and he's their best offensive engine. Max Pacioretty is their best shooter. If it's not starting with those two guys, then the inconsistency of Riley Smith, Jonathan Marchessault, and William Karlsson really kicks in. And I think that's a solid second line. But you look at that second line and you look at Colorado's second line, and I still feel like advantage Colorado. And so if you have advantage Colorado at the top, advantage Colorado in the secondary, you have advantage Colorado on defense, because I think that defense top to bottom is the best in the NHL.
Agreed.
Even with Pietrangelo in Vegas, right now in net, they're dead even.
Yeah,
and we thought that might be the big advantage for them.
Maybe the most impressive part is Philip Grubauer has been unbelievable this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't get particularly tested in this one.
No.
But, and maybe plays into the Avalanche hands that the second period is going to be after dark. There's no sun for Grubauer to fight.
Yeah, it should be better for both goaltenders.
Well, and then also the speed of the Avalanche, right? Like, the Knights might want to play right now.
Yeah, the ice has got to be better. It can't be worse.
Yeah, I mean, if it's harder, the Avs are going to be flying tonight.
And they were at the start of this game, too. The Avs weren't at 100% speed from the beginning. You'd tell the ice was bad, but they were still beating Vegas to pucks on the regular. So I don't know. And we speculated this, right? Through the first two games, we were like, wow, a super depleted Avalanche team is totally hanging with Vegas, and it's
right.
fine.
And you could make the argument that Vegas outplayed in Colorado in game 2. I think they did. I don't think that there's any real strong leg to stand on.
Sure.
But they didn't finish.
Yep.
And you look at what was their problem. Why did they go 7 games against Vancouver, and then why did they get smoked by Dallas? Because they couldn't score offensively. They have a finishing problem.
That was a team, the Avs. Khudobin had an 8.99 against the Avs.
Yeah.
And then put up like a 9.28 or something, I think, against Vegas. So
Jacob Markstrom is in Calgary in part because of what Thatcher Demko did to this team in the postseason.
Yep.
And look at Thatcher Demko now.
Not so hot,
struggling to keep a job.
Yep.
So I think that, I think I continue to like this matchup for Colorado. Until something happens to make me feel otherwise, I continue to like where they are and how they stand. And one whole period, you can't take everything away from, but the Avs get a bunch of lineup regulars back and immediately dominate the period.
Yep.
Even in bad conditions, they dominated that period in a way that a period had not been dominated in the first 2 games outside of the third period when there was a 1-0 lead at stake.
Right here, we have the game up in the background. There's 11 minutes left. Shots are 7-2 in Colorado's favor.
Yeah.
It's not been close.
Well, when you get half of your top 4 back.
Yeah.
The
defense went from...
The difference from Sam Girard and Cale Makar getting back into the lineup. It completely changes the dynamic, and it makes them significantly harder to handle. And Vegas was already struggling.
Yep.
no major advantage for either team in the first 2 games, except in health, where Vegas had a huge step up.
For sure.
Yeah.
It wasn't close. I don't know. I mean, look, this game resumes at 10 p.m. Mountain Time.
It's going to be a weird one. What happens if game day preparation goes out the window?
Yeah.
Because these guys have never done this
these
before.
dudes were up at probably 7, 8 a.m.
Working out, doing a pregame
to get ready for this
warm-ups.
1 noon local time game.
Yeah.
And now they have to sit around for the next 6 hours trying to stay ready for a game that won't end until
Probably
10:30,
gonna be some
11
naps.
p.m. local. Yeah.
There is some naps coming up.
Yeah, there will be some afternoon naps, but even then, we're talking about the weirdness now of a 2-period game.
Yeah,
there's
that
no
too.
longer a feeling out period. You get once that game starts, Vegas has to go.
Yep.
They're down.
They're down by 1 goal. That's the
They've
weirdest
gotta
thing,
go.
right? Yeah, like starting the game off at the deficit.
Yeah,
That's
straight up.
That's a weird feeling for them, right? Like,
Well,
you're
and,
already
and
down.
2 periods. That's why if in part 2 of this game, if the Avs get that first goal, they can realistically gear that down. Rely on the bad ice, play to your conditions, play to your circumstances and situation, and get out of there with the 2 points. And look to take a major series lead back in Denver in 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, if the Avs escape this game, you at worst split the series, right?
Yep. It guarantees at worst
It's
a
a
split.
free roll on Monday night at that point.
You're either gonna have a complete split, maybe an overtime point here or there that
Yeah,
determines
whatever.
something.
Yeah.
Or you decisively win the series and pick up points on the division leader.
Yep.
So they've put themselves in position now where it's like, hey, it's only 1 period,
Yep.
but you're up 1-0. They have the opportunity in front of them to close.
I don't think the ice is going to be a factor. After the sun sets, it's going to harden up. It's going to.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll
solid
get back
surface.
to typical outdoor
Yeah.
game conditions where over time it'll get a little bit choppy. But certainly the 3rd period where it's just like it's like hamburger helper, it's not going to be like that. I think they're going to avoid that because they only have the 2 periods to play.
There's no trenches being dug at
Yeah,
the end of the
exactly.
period.
Yeah. I was telling AJ before this show, one thing I still hadn't done on the podcast was a podcast halfway through a hockey game.
right.
So here we are.
Yeah, a postponed game.
Yeah.
And we're living in a COVID world where COVID had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, not a single thing. Just
That's very
just
true.
the sun.
Yeah.
The sun. Well, who knew?
Yeah, Evan's not here, but I'm sure he's yelling about Nightman right now. Hey, it was only about 10 songs to get on.
Worth it.
Go play all the small things at home right now if you want the DNVR bar vibe. I was intending to play it during first intermission, but here we are. I guess
is first
technically first intermission.
Everything we do in the next 6 hours is first intermission.
Yeah, so it still counts. Should have played last Sunday. It was snowy there last Sunday, right? So
It snowed last night there.
Yeah.
It ain't snowing today.
No, it's not. Even if there was cloud cover, it would be
Anything.
playable.
Yeah, anything to help
That
a
sun's
little
just
bit.
killing
But unfortunately, that ice is just disgusting.
Yep.
I don't know.
Trying to see if there were any further updates, and we got nothing.
Yeah,
It sounds like they made the decision and booked it.
left.
Yeah,
Just
they were
up
like,
and outy.
bye.
So
Yeah, who's
we
making
could
the
honestly
decision
probably
for
do
you?
this.
my bladder can't do that.
No, I mean we would have to. I have to pee too, but it would we'd have to take breaks and all that. But I mean,
We did do a 5-hour draft show, so.
Yeah, we could.
You had a draft to talk about.
Yeah, we also did 4.5 hours on free agency when nothing
Yeah,
happened.
that's true. We can just shoot it for a while.
We could
All
talk
right.
about some rod hockey.
Let's get in. Look, Adam Henrique is on waivers. That's a full hour.
Go away.
Oh, goodness.
Go away.
I thought you were shutting that down already.
I did because I just don't have the money.
Yeah.
For the years and dollar value left on that contract.
I tell you though, if there was a salary retention situation where they might be able to, and it was like 2.8 over 3 years,
Even then, man.
it's a different
Joey,
conversation.
thank
The
you
3
for the
years
super chat.
I don't trust.
Here we've got a super chat. Another one.
Yeah.
Would you like to read it out
Yeah,
loud?
perfect.
Yeah.
Worried because I overslept, but I got the Retro Grubauer
Yeah.
one, so now I got a chance to go see it at 10. Yeah. For everyone who doesn't like morning games, congratulations.
I love how
Can you put quotation marks around morning games?
and
Noon
I
is
love
my
how
morning.
the East Coast fans are like, East Coast gets screwed again, and it's like this game starts at 10 p.m. for us.
Yeah.
Like,
Nobody wins in this
yeah,
one.
everybody is getting screwed unless you live in Hawaii.
Shout out to Kale
Yeah.
on vacation in Hawaii.
Oh, is that where he is?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I'm glad he got there before. I'm glad he did not take the
Not
plane.
that
Right,
plane. That
the
was on the way
United
to
Did
plane.
not
Oh
take
my
the
God.
plane whose engine exploded today
Yeah.
over
Thank
Denver.
God for that pilot. Great job by the pilot to get everyone
That-
back to DIA safely.
I was telling Z, I said if I was on that plane and I looked out and I saw that engine on fire like that, I'd just start making phone calls.
Yeah, shout out to the dudes who recorded the engine just hanging out on their lawn.
yeah.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
The,
It
like-
just lands in their front lawn and they're just like, oh. We put everything on the internet nowadays, so
So that just happened? Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
What
Free
else
lawn
is going
ornament.
on?
See, it's all fun and jokes because nobody got hurt and everything is okay.
True.
Nobody got hurt and everything is okay. So bigger tragedy. Airplane engine falling out of the sky with no one getting hurt,
Rudo.
or this hockey game so far.
So far, this hockey game.
All right, good to know.
I mean, seriously, did you see that trench?
Oh my God,
The ref eating it.
the ref eats it, an Avs player eats it, a Vegas player toe picks and almost falls over, and then they cut to just like straight
The
up
s-
shoveling snow with
The
a
stick disappears into the ice, and you're like, oh my God.
Car toe picks, which, you see that all the time from him.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
All the
constantly.
time.
He's not a
just
good
not
skater
not
at all.
good at all.
No.
No.
Absolutely, man. I'm like I said before the show, I've been watching Cale Makar for 4 years now, and I've never seen him do that.
So
Not to that, not like that.
Yeah,
like,
you know it's
falling
bad.
down. You make a bad step, but to straight up toe pick like that, like
That's
when
the-
you're watching elites and like Nathan McKinnon afraid to take steps, it's one thing when Bambi falls down, Mikko Rantanen goes down, and you're just like, well, I mean, this is just what happens with that guy. Like, it's fine.
all right. Should we get out of here, or do you guys have more to talk about on this first?
Yeah, I
period?
mean, I told you I could do an hour on Adam Henrique.
I mean,
All right, are we going to go live post game after this game?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we just won't be here.
Yeah, over StreamYard.
I will not be
It'll
here.
be DNVR After Dark for sure. Warning
Definitely
to
after
everyone
dark.
It will be
watching.
after dark because I am picking up alcohol
I
on the
ordered
way
two
home.
12-packs last night.
Oh,
so-
goodness. So, they're not in studio, so I won't have as much control over them as I do right now, but we will
That's
be
not
live.
true. On
post-game.
StreamYard, Allie can just kick us out when we
It's
get
true.
rowdy.
I guess that's true, but I can mute you here, so similar.
That's
I
true.
don't,
Fair.
I don't know if I like all this control.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it, but I'm
It's
not a huge
needed.
fan of this.
That's why there's producers and directors.
So, this nonsense and the nonsense tonight is brought to you by Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR.
It's true.
You get 8 different kinds on tap down at the DNVR bar. Are we still full? We might still be full.
No, I think
I think
people
it's-
can
All
come
right.
down if they
So
want to
10
hang out.
p.m. maybe show up. We'll be open, and we will stay open until the game finishes.
But last call is at 11.
Perfect. Exactly. So,
So you can buy buckets, you can buy a
Yeah.
pitcher,
just buy
and
3
drink.
pitchers at 10:59, and you're good to go.
We just can't serve anymore after
You
11.
know what, Drew?
Anyway,
Find something to do, man.
my bladder has to end this show. So thank you for watching whatever this was. We hope you'll tune in at God knows what hour.
Oh, it's only 2 periods. So
Okay,
assuming
so
we don't have major
Maybe
delays,
midnight-ish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right
I think
around there.
midnight, right in the area of midnight.
All right.
I tell you, I get a nice jump on writing the post game.
Yeah, your whole first period summary is done.
Get
You're
to
good
write some
go.
takeaways ahead of time, just talking about the delays.
So there you go. We'll be live after the game is completely done. Hope you'll tune in for that. It's Saturday, right? So staying up's fine.
Do we know, someone is asking if it's on NBC or...
NBCSN. They moved
Oh.
it to NBCSN.
Yeah.
All right.
So it will be on that channel. However you want to go on and get that.
I wonder if it gets blacked out now.
That's what some people
Because
were
it's not
saying.
broadcast by altitude, so it'll be available.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
I think that was just a little.
Yeah.
Just
I
to
saw a
see
lot of people worried about that.
That's all
though,
that
so-
was. I was just poking the bear.
and the ice just gave as he poked
Oh,
it.
Yeah,
so-
right.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in for whatever this was, and we will see you guys again in like 9 hours, 8 hours. Bye.